So this is Justice Chapter 1, discussion overview. And Chapter 1 I thought was kind of funny because it was it was entitled Doing the Right Thing, which I might have a problem doing, might or might not. I also thought this book was kind of funny because I work at Justice, and the book's entitled Justice, and given I know it's two totally different vibes with the two. But anyway, to get started, I wasn't 100% sure on the question, so I'm just going to do an overview of the two cases that we had talked about in the book, or at least my two favorite. And so the first one is on the trolley case, and it's actually kind of funny because people have brought up the trolley case for me because I am a very indecisive person, and so in order to speed up my decisions quicker, people have given me the trolley case. So it was kind of funny seeing this in a different situation, one that I'm not pressured in. But just an overview of the trolley case. You're a driver, you're driving down the runway, and you see 5 workers at the end of your rails, or whatever they're on. Brakes don't work. You have the opportunity to flip the switch and go the other way. However, there's one person on the other way. Do you hit the 5 or do you hit the 1? Obviously, you hit the 1. I mean, okay, that sounds terrible. But it's better. I mean, it's not good to hit anyone at all and to kill them, but it's better to hit one person than 5 people. And I think probably everyone agrees with that. It's just, it's gonna be better to hit the 1 and to kill the 1 than to hit the 5 and to kill the 5. You're sparing more people's lives, which I think is more meaningful, just like we talked about. And then scenario 2, you are on a bridge just looking at the train, at the trolley or whatever, and you see that there's 5 workers still. No brakes this time. You don't have a way around them. You see a man beside you, and quick thinking, you say, oh, I can push him off, and it can alert the workers, however this man's going to die. Do you push him off or not? And I agree with the people in the book. I don't think I could push him off, because then I would be pushing him off into his death, and I think at that point I would be considered a murderer, and I know for a fact I can't live with myself being murdered. Well, being a murderer. I couldn't live if I was murdered, obviously. But in that scenario, in that situation, it's all about morals, and that's back to the moral reasoning and the reflective. Sorry, I just lost my word. Oh well, you know what I mean. But that's all back to moral reasoning and what you would decide and why. And so that one was a little easier on my morals. Going into the goat herder case, where the soldier is in Afghanistan, he's fighting, he sees civilians come up to him, he thinks about shooting them, and he just lets them go, is a little differently. I know an American Sniper, again, not to combine the two, but in American Sniper, Chris Kyle saw a young boy who was being led by his mother, and he shot the kid, shot the mother, and shot the dad. And anyone else who was around, he shot them too, in fear of this exact case happening, of the civilians going to tell the Taliban, going to tell the enemy, whoever, that these people are around here, and they know exactly where they are, and they can track them. And so Luttrell goes into discussion and talks about how he's a Christian man, and the more I read into this, the more I realized it's, in his case, morals versus his job. And that's such a tough case, because you want to follow your morals that you were born and raised with, you grew up with, however that is your job. And so I, again, not wanting to be a murderer, just like in the trolley case, but I think for this I would have shot the civilians, just out of the safety of my team, my crew, out of my safety. However, Luttrell didn't do that, and so it resulted in him getting injured and 16 others getting killed, and that's where the job versus morals come in. And I remember he said about him being a good Christian man, and that he just couldn't do that. It's kind of ironic, because there's a verse in the Bible in 1 Corinthians that is like the goat herder versus the soldier. I don't know if that situation's based off of that or what. But it resulted in him getting injured and some of his crew getting killed. And so that goes back into moral reasoning, and I morally completely disagree with him. So that's my overview of Justice Chapter 1, and I look forward to continuing this book next week.